we're heading into deep space. With Mario Galaxy just around the corner, everyone is asking, where do we go from here? Yeah, I'm talking the post-credit scene and Super Mario Movie 3. Now, last time we did this was for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and we didn't do too bad with our Amy Rose and Metal Sonic predictions, did we? Well, with the Super Mario sequel on the horizon, we thought what better time than now to attempt to pitch, predict and theorise the ultimate post-credit scene. Post-credit scenes are lifebloods of franchises nowadays. They aren't just a thank you for sitting through the names, they're the blueprint for the future of a franchise. And today I'm giving you that blueprint because I'm back in the writer's room cooking up the perfect way to tease the future of the Mario movie franchise. This is part of a 3-part series, and in today's video, the very first one, I'm going to explain to you why I think the Mario Galaxy post-credit scene should set up Super Mario Odyssey and the introduction of Cappy. So why do I think Super Mario Odyssey will be the next Mario movie? Well, my theory for this is based entirely off a massive industry hurdle, the great title escalation problem. You know the one I'm talking about. It's when a movie franchise titles one of its entries something so grandiose that ultimately anything that comes out afterwards feels like a massive downgrade. Avengers Endgame is probably the textbook example of this, but Jurassic World did it too. I mean, you best believe Rebirth would have been titled something else if they hadn't already used World. But how could they? I mean, how do you make a title sound bigger than what came before without it feeling like a massive step down? Honestly, you can't. And look, the Mario movies have already hit this wall. Do you remember when the sequel was first being reported as being called the Super Mario World movie? That makes sense, it's natural escalation, and it meant the third movie could be called Galaxy, and the scope would slowly start creeping up. But no, they skipped the middleman and went straight to Galaxy, so now I'm thinking, where do they go from there? So the question for the third movie really rests on how they title it without it feeling like a level 1 reset. Once you're in space, you've reached the maximum setting, so for me the only escape hatch is the Super Mario Odyssey movie. It's not scaling up, but it ends the need for the franchise to keep outdoing itself, like geography wise. Odyssey is a reset without sounding any less epic. So if Odyssey is the direction, what does this actually mean for the prequel? Because the first movie already used the Bowser Peach wedding, and the sequel has already taken the T-Rex. So this means an Odyssey movie would need to be a total accumulation of the Mario universe, which they have been doing, but what iconic things are left from Odyssey?
Come on, jump up in the air, jump without a care.
Yes, they could do that, and they should do that. But the real selling point for Odyssey as the third movie is Cappy. Look, at this point, it's impossible to say how the Galaxy movie is gonna end, but I do think it's pretty safe to say that Bowser will end up defeated. With that being the case, as the credits roll, I'd have them interrupted by an establishing shot of a gloomy, monochromatic landscape filled with thick fog, the Cap Kingdom. The camera pans past the fog and we find Bowser. He's licking his wounds and cursing Mario's name. He stops and he looks round at his surroundings and notices the Top Hat Tower. He smirks and says, "Oh yeah,
I can work with this."
He then marches toward the tower as the music swells. As a little last minute moment, Cappy, peeping over the hill, looking absolutely terrified of what's to come. We cut to black. I think it's perfect. It sets the direction, it gets everyone hyped, and it brings back Bowser, which, let's be real, this franchise was always gonna do. Just look at the games! Introducing Cappy as a lead into the third movie is also perfectly non-committal, which I feel like Illumination as a studio would love. It's kind of the same thing as the Yoshi egg in the first movie. It's a tease that promises a whole new mechanic and adventure without defining the entire plot. So yeah, what do you think? That was my very first pitch for the Mario Galaxy movie post-credit scene. Did I convince you? Or are you waiting out for someone else to show up in the post-credit scene? We'll be dropping another one of these post-credit prediction videos this time next week, and trust me, you already know who we're going to be pitching next. So subscribe to Slurp and make sure you check back in. And in the meantime, if you're into the Sonic universe, we just dropped a new concept here, and our community is calling it the best Sonic 4 trailer on YouTube. Check out a clip from that video right now.
I'm Amy Rose, and I'm from a future we need your help saving. Our world has been taken over by someone I think you're very familiar with.
Papa's got the glow up of the century.